presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Well, the Halos are coming off a very nice homestand, 5-1. They had the off day, traveled to Atlanta yesterday. Tonight we begin a 3-game set here at Turner Field against the Atlanta Braves. Hi, everybody, from inside Turner Field, we welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubazon, Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again. And tonight's pitching matchup, interesting in that we saw a lot of Aaron Harang last year. He's going up against C.J. Wilson.
And Victor, C.J. Wilson's been so good in interleague play in his last 10 starts. And so it's going to be an interesting thing here. 6-0 with a 3.12 as far as ERA last 10 interleague. Reason why, he's got a lot more fastballs, a lot more swings from National League hitters. Aaron Harang, you know, he started off so good, struggled a little bit lately, but boy, in his career versus the Angels, 0-5 with an ERA over 7. So it should be a lot of fun to see how they swing against Harang tonight.
Yeah, a very good pitching staff for the Atlanta Braves. See if the Angels offense can get it going against Aaron Harang. We're just about ready for baseball here in Atlanta, so sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Angels Baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. By AT Uverse TV, rethink possible. By Jack in the Box, the new Jalapeno Rancher Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers. And by Hyundai. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Game set between your Angels and the Atlanta Braves on Military Appreciation Night here at Turner Field. Braves are taking the field. We will take a look at Mike Scioscia starting 9 for the Halos, who start the afternoon and early evening. 3.5 back of the Oakland Athletics with a 36-29 record. Cole Calhoun will lead things off. He'll play right field. Mike Trout is in center. Albert Pujols at first. Josh Hamilton in left. Howie Kendrick at second base. Eric Ibar, the shortstop. David Freese gets a start at third. Hank Conger behind the plate. And, of course, in the National League, no DH the pitchers. Batting ninth, that is C.J. Wilson. As they take on the 36-year-old right-hander, the veteran, and native of San Diego, California, by the name of Aaron Harang.
Aaron Harang, his fastball, 87-92 through the slider, cut fastball, curveball, changeup. But the ways to be successful against Aaron Harang. Remind him of his past, especially early on. Get some hits against him and jump on early counts. 0-0 counts. Hitters in 10 for 21 against Harang. So jump on that fastball early and remind him of his lack of success over his career versus the Angels.
Yeah, this is his 8th career start. 0-5 record and a 7.59 ERA. First pitch tonight being presented by the UPS Store. Cole Calhoun ready to lead things off. 246 average, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. And the first one tonight is in for a strike. There's David Ratcliffe barking out the balls and strikes tonight. Brian Gorman at first, Angel Campos at second, Tony Randazzo over at third, the umpiring crew for this series. Calhoun fouls it back, and it's quickly 0-2. The Angels saw a couple of left-handers in the last 2 games of that series against the Oakland A's, and that's why Cole didn't get a start. Did get a pinch hit opportunity in the 9th inning, and that was of Wednesday's loss. Taylor's wearing the regular road grays tonight. That one's upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of the 7 previous starts, or 7 total starts that Harang has had against the Angels, he had 4 last year. Went 0-4 last season with a 10.38 ERA against the Halos. It's downstairs, 2-2.
And believe me, you always remember that. You remember how well you've pitched against the club and when you've struggled against the club. And Aaron Harang not only had that high ERA, but gave up a lot of hits.
Two on the way. This one's fouled off to the left. Not a whole lot of room here at Turner Field behind the plate. Built down some stands towards the home plate area. So it has an effect, of course, on foul pop-ups as well as the wild pitches with a man at third base. Braves taking over Turner Field. What was at that point Olympic Stadium in 1997.
They'll be moving over to a new stadium in just a few years.
Another 2-2. This one's fouled off to left.
Boy, nice at bat to start the game for Cole Calhoun. Seeing a number of pitches. Playing also tough pitchers' pitches also.
Angels trying to wash away that last road trip. 3-city trip that they struggled through. 16-15 out on the road this year. 2-2 again. This one's looped down the third base line. This might have a chance to fall down, and it does. It's a fair ball. Calhoun will round first and stop right there as Upton's throw sails over the second baseman's head. And fortunately, Freeman is ever to back up on it. So it's a long single.
And that was a wide decision. Alfredo Griffin right away pointed, raided the base for Cole Calhoun. Dustin Upton has a strong throwing arm, well backed up by Freddie Freeman. Off the bat, out of the batter's box, Cole's thinking double. But Alfredo at that point points right at the base, knowing that arm strength, even though it was a high throw from Upton, he does have that capability of throwing a perfect throw to second.
And nothing LaStella could do as Upton's throw just airmailed him. So a leadoff base hit. And Mike Trout will step to the plate. Mike hitting .293 on the season. First one in there for a strike. Trout 12 home runs, 45 runs batted in, 15 doubles, 5 triples. Had himself a 1-for-4 game last time out. That was a double in Wednesday's game. Braves here at home 18-14 on the season. They start tonight just a game back in the National League East. 34-31 record. Pretty good lead for Calhoun when he's down low.
Base Steelers has been successful, 9 of 12 attempts against Harang. Pretty quick, though. He has a good slide step. Holds the ball well. Gaddis has thrown out 23% of would-be base stealers.
This one's fouled back to the right. Well, the Angels during that homestand had a total of 3 stolen bases in the 6 games.
I always believe, especially when you play a National League club, you have to play their brand of baseball, and that's why the Angels have been so good. You look back since 2007, 90-46 for Mike Socha's club. It's because of the fact is they've been aggressive stealing bases.
Halos 6-2 against interleague this year. Lays off the breaking ball. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harang took the loss the last time out. That was against the Diamondbacks on the 8th. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, 6 innings. He walked 6, struck out 4. It's kind of unusual for him. If you just look at his numbers this year, 77 strikeouts to just 29 walks. 2-2. Little number up the first base line that rolls foul. Freeman had to actually pick that one up. That ball hit the cut of the grass and was rolling back. Hey, tonight's game, we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Tonight, every home run in this game raises $6,500 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Long hold. Calhoun started to go, and Trout fouls it off.
And you can see why it's difficult as a base stealer to go when a pitcher holds the baseball. Again, you don't have to throw over a lot to first base. Just hold the baseball. You will stop most runners for taking that extra little movement and go try to steal a base.
Now game time here, 7:35. BP was pretty much done about 6:20 tonight. And they watered the field, got it ready for Military Appreciation Night. It looked like Cole slipped a little bit as well. We'll check in on it.
Aaron Harang started off so well. First 5 games, 3-1 with an ERA 0.85. But his last 8 starts, 1-4 with an ERA over 5 at 5.01.
Lifted in the air to right. Jason Hayward moving toward the corner near the wall, and that is in foul territory as he makes the catch for the out. Well, that ball carried more than I thought it was going to. As Albert steps to the plate, we'll take a look at the Hyundai key to the game.
We're down here in Georgia, a big Atlanta Brave fan, Jason Aldean. Take a little ride. I just believe, especially some of the success many Angel hitters have had against Harang, including Albert Pujols with 5 career home runs against Harang. This could be the night where he breaks out and they can score some runs early against Harang.
Harang wants to do baseball. Albert comes in batting .249. 15 home runs on this season. Career against Aaron Harang, .342. 5 bombs, 7 strikeouts. Takes the first pitch fastball right down the pipe.
Back-to-back hitters taking fastballs right down the middle of the plate. Again, when you look at the numbers for Harang, 0-0 count, first pitch of an at-bat, 10 for 21 against him. Means he's throwing a lot of fastballs, and you've missed 2 opportunities here early.
Albert hit .280 in the month of April, .234 in May. So far here in June, a .205 average. That was just off the plate to even the count. Cole Calhoun leading off this ball game with a single down the left field line. A flare shot. The sun finally starting to peek through the clouds here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Some overcast skies throughout the afternoon. Had some rain showers that started around 3 o'clock, but they took batting practice on the field. Both teams did. Not supposed to have any rain until late in the overnight. Harang last year split time with the Mets and the Mariners, making 26 starts, went 5-12, a 5.40 ERA combined. And with the injuries the Braves suffered in the offseason, signed with the Braves in spring training as Albert takes that pitch outside. 2-2. Harang originally was with the Cleveland Indians in spring training. They let him go in late spring training. The Braves had Freddie Garcia in camp. That didn't work out, so they let him go and signed Harang. Chopper back up the middle, off the glove. Simmons takes it, touches the bag, spins around, fires to first, and it gets off of or away from Freeman. They apply the tag on Pujols as that ball ricocheted off Alfredo Griffin. Almost an acrobatic, fantastic play by the Gold Glove shortstop.
Boy, Simmons makes some of the most amazing plays you will ever see. This is off the glove of Harang. Not only fields it, but spins around the low throw. Usually you'll see Freeman picking that one, but unable to do so. That short hop at first base. But Simmons is a fantastic fielding shortstop. Only Gold Glover ever for the Atlanta Braves.
Albert was headed
at
to
shortstop
second.
Position. What a fantastic player he is.
He's going to take off if that ball had not hit Alfredo. Here's Josh. He swings the first one. This one foul and out of play. And it's no balls and a strike. There's some guys in the Braves dugout wondering if Albert had made a commitment to go to second base, and that's why Freeman applied the tag. And Brian Gorman says he did not. So 2 outs and a man at first. 381 average for Josh so far this year. Taps this one foul. It's no balls at 2 strikes.
Hamilton 6 for 9 in his career versus Harang, including 2 home runs and 4 RBI.
This one's out to center field. E.J. Upton is there. And that'll do it for the Angels. No runs ahead, 1 left out. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score. Pitchers on, and we'll take a look at Freddie Gonzalez's lineup for the Atlanta Braves. Mentioned to gain back the National League East. 34-31 is their record. Jason Hayward will lead things off in right. B.J. Upton in center. Freddie Freeman at first base. Justin Upton in left. Evan Gattis is the catcher. Chris Johnson at third base. Tommy LaStella, the second baseman. Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop, and Aaron Harang batting ninth, and he is on the mound. Taking on C.J. Wilson, who comes into tonight's action looking for his 8th win of the year.
Yeah, we talked about how well he has thrown in his last 10 games in interleague play. 6-0 with an ERA just over 3. 7-5 overall this season, coming off a very solid game. Keys for CJ to be successful against Atlanta. Continue that interleague success. Use that positive mindset to be able to attack hitters and then expand the strike zone. This is a club that will swing and miss quite a bit and do not walk a lot either.
Freddie Gonzalez now in his 4th season as the skipper of the Atlanta Braves. 96 and 66 record last year. Hayward looks at a strike. Braves right fielder, lead off man, hitting 254, 7 home runs, 23 runs batted in. That hit his hand.
When he ran that fastball in, that's a spot where most hitters extremely uncomfortable when they get hit in that part of the hand. Trying to walk it off. And Hayward leaning out over the plate, looking out over the plate. That fastball runs, hits the top of his hand, his right arm.
Missed some time last year, getting hit in the jaw. That's why you see him wearing the protective guard off the helmet.
Well, that's one of those spots on the hand that you'll see hitters get hit. That's going to sting for quite some time. Right on the top of that right hand.
Played just 104 games last year. Also missed time with an appendectomy.
A very good player. Can do a lot of things well. Can run. Got 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts. Very strong throwing arm. Can hit for power.
There's B.J. Upton, the center fielder. Shows bunt. Fouls it back. Upton off to a slow start once again. .210 average. 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Last year at 184. His first year with the Braves. T.J. Wilson, 86 and 2/3 innings, 67 hits, 79 strikeouts so far. Hayward takes off. This one hooked down the left field line. That is foul, just out in front.
Well, Hayward had a big jump also. Well, it is 3 for 20. C.J. Wilson, C.J. way ahead of the count now, can expand the zone against B.J. Upton, a guy that will swing the pitches in the dirt.
Another good lead for Hayward at first base. Off speed, misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves don't run a whole lot. 34 stolen bases. That puts him 10th in the National League. Hayward second on the team to B.J. Upton, who has 10, and he has 9. Wilson coming off the start, in which he picked up the win against the White Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, 7 1/3 innings. Through just 107 pitches. Swing and a miss. Down goes Upton. 1 down.
Swinging a breaking ball out of the strike zone. After the pitch before just missed the breaking ball in the outside corner. Right back with that hard slider down and in. Swing and miss once again against Upton. Now 3 for 21 against C.J. Wilson.
A 77th strikeout on the year for B.J. Upton. It's a Braves team that will rack up some Ks. Freddie Freeman steps in. The Braves as a team have hit .241 this year, but they've hit much better against left-handed pitching than against right-handed pitching. Almost .270 against lefties, .234 I should say against righties. As Freeman takes outside.
Freeman's done a nice job against left-handed pitching himself. .274.
He's a guy, when you look at him at the plate too, he looks like the prototypical kind of Deadpool power type hitter, but he's got coverage to all fields. Power to all fields.
He can drive the ball real well to left center field.
Takes a breaking ball low, and it's 2-0. Freeman hitting .275, has 11 home runs, 35 runs batted in. He's had a contract extension this past offseason. 8-year deal takes him through 2021. Second round pick of the Braves back in 07. You'll see that quite a bit with this franchise. A lot of talent from the system. 2-1.
Grew up a JT Snow was his favorite player growing up in Orange County area. JT Snow could really pick it at first base. Freeman, not only could pick it, he's got an incredibly strong throwing arm.
Set a career high last year, batting average .319, RBIs with 109. 3 balls, 1 strike. Justin Upton on deck. Hayward on board, being hit by a pitch. Upton, BJ that is, struck out swinging. Outfield deep here.
Could be a count where you might see Hayward going.
And that is ball 4. So Freeman works the walk. And the right hand hitting Justin Upton coming to the plate. First and second with 1 out. Atlanta 11th in average, 4th in home runs, 13th in runs scored, 9th in slugging, 12th in on base percentage. Those are all National League ranks.
Well, this is the one guy you wanted to avoid against left-handed pitching. Upton, especially with a couple guys on. 421 batting average for Justin Upton against left-handed pitching.
294 average, 14 bombs, 36 RBIs, and Wilson falls behind. 1 ball, no strikes.
CJ's very good as far as getting that ground ball double play. Felix Hernandez and CJ Wilson, top 2 in the American League since 2010 as far as getting that ground ball.
And behind in the count again at 2 balls, no strikes. Upton in his second season now with Atlanta, being acquired in that trade with the Diamondbacks. Key figure going to Arizona, Martin Prado. 2-0 pitch. This one's lifted foul and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. A little bit of a late arriving crowd here. I can't remember the last time I was at a ballpark with a 7:35 start. I do that on Fridays here. But it makes sense. A lot of traffic here. Downtown area. That used to be the norm, right? 7:35 starts?
Yes.
2-1. This is hammered out to left. Going back on it is Hamilton. He's at the wall and he'll make the catch for out number 2. CJ just got away with one.
Just towards the end of the bat for Upton, kept it in the yard. Welcome back, a little bigger dimensions here. Turner Field. Breaking ball. See, that ball was just towards the end of the bat. If it's even a little bit further, it's going a long way because Upton has tremendous power.
So 2 outs, 2 on. Evan Gattis, the catcher, at the plate. In the midst of a career-high 12-game hitting streak, has raised his average to 279, 13 home runs, 31 runs batted in. It's 1 ball, no strikes. It's 13 home runs, leads all major league catchers.
He likes the fastball. Inside, very quick on it, elevated, hits it well. Will Chase, quite a bit of off-speed pitches out of the strike zone, though.
Long first inning here at Turner Field. Check swing. Did not go. That's the 3rd straight batter that Wilson has gone to 2-0 on. Well, that that does is just racks up that pitch count. 17 pitches, 10 balls so far for CJ here in the first. A 3-0 count. Well, you got a team that struggles offensively, and you continue to put them in good hitters' counts. Doesn't matter what the numbers say, they're eventually going to get to you.
And he will be swinging here, Gaddis. 3-0. He's going to have the green light, especially if you throw a fastball in his zone.
Hacks, and this was driven out to left. And Atlanta has themselves a 3-0 lead.
That's one of those times, too, when you fall behind the count, you have a guy that crushes a fastball. You're more at ease throwing something out of the strike zone. Let him swing at something out of the zone. You can still throw a fastball, but it's got to be off the plate. This is right down the heart of the plate. Gaddis has tremendous power. You have to try to use that aggression against him. If you're going to throw a fastball 3-0, you can still get through the inning by not challenging a fastball hitter like Gaddis.
14th home run of the year now with 34 runs batted in. The Angels will play from behind. And CJ again falls behind at 1 ball, no strikes. Chris Johnson, the third baseman, hitting .267, a couple of home runs, 16 RBIs. '65th home run that the Braves have hit this year. Two-one count.
He's doing a couple good changeups in this at bat against Johnson. It's been a pitch that CJ's been very comfortable of late, thrown consistently in the strike zone and getting swings and misses with.
Full count. Next pitch will be the 25th thrown by Wilson. Johnson in his second season with Atlanta. At .321 last year. Count remains full here, 3-2. A hit by pitch, a strikeout, a walk, a fly to deep left, and a 3-run home run. Braves have put the 3 runs on the board. Another 3-2. This is shot foul.
Boy, his last 3 road starts for CJ. He's going 16 in the third. He's allowed 13 earned runs. Usually very good on the road.
Johnson rips one out to left center field. Trout back at the wall, and it's 4-0 Atlanta. Back-to-back home runs for the Braves. Johnson hits his 3rd of the season.
CJ not known to be a guy to give up many home runs. Recall him never given up back-to-back home runs. You're consistently falling behind in the count and forced to throw a fastball, and that fastball again ran in the inner half of the plate. Very similar to the pitch that Gaddis hit out. And these are some pretty big dimensions here in their going yard.
So the inning continues. 2 outs, nobody on. Tommy La Stella, the second baseman, looks at a strike. Well, like we said, left-handers, righties against these left-handers hit well. The Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Victor, when you're behind in the count, you make a very free swinging club center in on a zone against you, and they can get a fastball.
Stella playing in his 14th big league game. Called up, taking over at second base. Struggling Dan Uggla. Ninth best prospect, at least according to Baseball America, in the Brave system prior to the season. CJ has gone from 0-2 to 2-2. Stella is 378 through his first 13 games.
In April on the road, like normal for CJ, 2-1 with a 2.37, but last 3 road starts, this has been hit hard. And kicking the ball again.
That'll go as an infield base hit.
And CJ was in very good fielding position on that ground ball.
He broke his bat.
Following through, he's right there, and then for some reason, instead of putting his glove down, he tried to kick the baseball. And he's in good fielding position. He just puts the glove down for backhand.
Yeah, if you got time to kick your foot over to the baseball, you got time to put the glove down, or at least make an effort. So Mike Butcher will pay a visit. Andrelton Simmons will be the 8th man to bat here this first inning. Has been all Atlanta Braves. 3-run home run by Gaddis, a solo shot by Johnson.
Yeah, plenty of time to come back in this game for C.J. Wilson. You have to stop it right here, stop the bleeding at this point. Aaron Harang does recall his numbers against the Angels, so there's going to be plenty of time to come back, but it's also up to C.J. to stop it at this point.
Simmons a shortstop, 254 average, 5 home runs, 19 runs batted in. And again, at 1 ball, no strikes. 33rd pitch of the first inning. Simmons shoots one out toward right field. Calhoun coming on. He'll make the catch, and the inning comes to an end, but not before Atlanta strikes for 4 runs. On back-to-back home runs by Gaddis and Johnson. We head to the second. The Halos play from behind, down 4-0. Nothing here in the top of the second. Let's take a look at our lows. Never
stop, improving. What we've seen this season after 65 games, 36-29 to 3.5 games back. Very good ERA as a team. Last season, though, 11.5 games back ERA, nearly 4.5. Big-time improvement for Mike Scioscia's club. 65 games into the season this year as compared to last season.
Well, the Halos will have their work cut out for them. Down 4-0 as we begin the second. Kendrick, Ibar, and Freeze coming up. Face Aaron Harang. Got a bloop single off the bat of Cole Calhoun and nothing more in that first inning. Howie Kendrick batting .276, 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And a fastball right down the middle for strike one.
Well, you're going to have to see a little different approach. We've seen Harang throw a number of fastballs right down the middle of the plate's first pitch. Get an opportunity, jump on. You know the work counts if you're going to get a fastball down the middle.
Well, how many times have we talked about it before? It's a fastball hitting team that all of a sudden seems like it wants to outthink itself.
And you'll see that adjustment, I think, the second time through against Harang. And you might see Harang throw more breaking balls second time through also.
2 balls, 1 strike.
But numbers don't lie.
Yep.
First pitch swinging against Harang, nearly 500 coming into this game.
Three and one. Howie's had a tough month of June. Just a .189 batting average, 7 for 37. No extra base hits and 1 RBI. Just after he hit .284 in May. And he works himself a leadoff walk. First issued by Harang. Puts a man on board for Eric Ibar. Hey fans, MLB.com at Bat app and subscription to its premium features, smartphone or tablet are perfect for Father's Day. Dad will have access to features such as live look-ins, instant replay, live audio, and more. For more details, visit MLB.com.
You see quite a few of the father-sons at the game this entire weekend. Daughters and fathers.
Eric Ibar hitting .283. 4 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Another fastball for a strike.
Angel fans.
Quite a few of them, by the way. Strolling through downtown. Breaking ball down low. All very relaxed, knowing it's just a second inning. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time to come back. Good guy to get it started. Eric Ibar since 2012 in interleague play, .350 batting average.
This is down the left field line, but slicing out of play. It's 1-2.
One thing always to keep in mind, when you have that day off, it's always at a bat or maybe even 2 before you get comfortable because your timing's thrown off for the day off. You know, as much as players like that day off, for hitters, their timing is thrown off, at least initially, especially that long time between batting practice and the start of the game today.
Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, a lot of times I can understand where you haven't been to a ballpark in a while and you're facing a guy that you've never seen or you saw once, Blue Moon. You're facing a guy that Angel hitters are very familiar with. This one's popped up on the infield. Johnson, the third baseman, puts it away for the first down. Break the ball down and in. Kendrick back to first base. 1 out here. The second. David Freese coming up.
And those numbers, even the batting average against, .373. 0-5 with an ERA well over 7. 7 career starts against the Angels.
David Freese, a .222 average with a couple of home runs and 15 runs batted in. David had the day off, the refresher day on Wednesday, as he cuts through the first one.
Freese with good numbers against Harang, 5 for 9.
Behind in the count at 0-2. 34 pitches thrown by Harang, 23 have been strikes. Leadoff walk to Kendrick in the second. And like Calhoun in the first, the Angels aren't moving the base runner. I think Howie thought about going and stopped. Pretty good pitch. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
BJ Upton shading David Freese towards right center field. Big gap in left center field for Freese if he gets one of those off-speed pitches elevated against Harang.
Well, that ball bounced about 2 feet in front of the plate. Nice dig by Gaddis, 2-2.
It's an overthrown cut fastball.
Good lead for Howie at first base. As Freese fouls it off to the right. First time the Angels have played here since 2005. Last time these two teams met was 2011. The Angels taking 2 of 3 at the Big A. Full count. Hey, Conger on deck, then you have the pitcher spot.
You assume that Howie is going to be going here on the 3-2 count.
This is ground ball short. Timmons to Estella. On to Freeman. And an ending double play. We'll head to the bottom of the second here in Atlanta with the Braves on top 4-0. As we begin the bottom of the second inning. Coming up later in the game, we'll bring you the AT fan photo of the game, but we need your help. Tweet us your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and it could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast.
That is really cool there. Angel fans, father, son.
Wild child, huh? I mean, that's going out on a limb right there. I mean, that's announcing to the world, I am a wild child.
Wild child.
And then the other one, I think, says, I'm the angel.
Hey, he's playing for the tie.
I'm the angel, and he's the wild child. Love it. 9-1-2 for C.J. Wilson here the second. Harang, Hayward, and Upton. Harang this year 1 for 23. Wilson allowing 4 runs on back-to-back home runs, had 1 strikeout, 1 walk in that first inning, also 1 hit batter. TJ threw 34 pitches in that first inning. Bryant goes down swinging for the first down here in the second.
Now it's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. The Angels here in Atlanta, 6-2 as far as interleague record this season. 12 of the last 14 years have had a winning record under Mike Scioscia, 160 and 102, which is best in the majors. And since 2007, I mentioned earlier, 90 and 46. Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light. And Scioscia has been very good because he plays National League brand baseball again in interleague play.
Jordan Schaefer batting here for Jason Hayward. So Hayward obviously bothered by that hit by pitch at the top of the first inning. So his night comes to an end.
That is a scary spot to be hit as a hitter. You're looking fastball, your hands are out and exposed on that bat, and runs it inside and gets the top of the hand on his right hand. And you knew it right away for Hayward to come out of the game. He was not feeling good, especially when he got down to first base.
Breaking ball. That's a called strike 3. Down goes Schaefer, 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts, 3 overall for Wilson.
We got away with the breaking ball. Really wanted to go down and away with Hank Conger, but the speed of that pitch was so effective against Schaefer, just getting in the game and have to deal with the fastball from CJ and end up getting a 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Here's B.J. Upton. Struck out in the first. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. B.J. Upton, the 2nd overall selection, 2002, the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, if you can name the number 1 overall selection in 02, steak dinner. Without anybody from the truck telling you in your ear.
You know I can't hear anyhow, so.
This one's lifted out to right. Calhoun comes racing.
I got a break now. This is good.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. Brian Bullington from Ball State.
Well, I would have been pretty good not finding out.
We head to the 3rd here. Turner Field. The Angels down 4-0. Tomorrow, don't miss a full day of MLB action, beginning with the Twins taking on Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox as Mike Trout and the Angels take on the Atlanta Braves. All the action begins tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1.
Garrett Richards on the hill with Halos tomorrow night.
Going up against Gavin Floyd. Hector Santiago will get to start Sunday night for the Angels. Hector trying to follow up a fantastic outing just a couple of days ago. Hank Conger hits one out towards center field. B.J. Upton racing back, still going back. He pulls up. That's off the top of the wall. Conger racing to second. The throw comes to second, and it ends up in the middle of the infield right to Aaron Harang. A double for Hank, his 7th of the season.
Well, Hank will take that, but it looked like Upton thought it was going out of the yard. Good swing. That's what we're looking for from Hank Conger. Center field to left center field. And Upton going back and playing it off the wall, but that's the lower part of the wall. That's good power, though, for Hank Conger. 7 doubles on the season, a break potentially. Allows C.J. Wilson to square around the bunt here now to advance Conger to third.
Not bunting. Tardy on the fastball, and it's 0-1. C.J. in his career 2 for 21 as a hitter. Has 1 triple. First plate appearance this year.
Freddie Freeman's not buying into that swing. He's playing well in his first base position.
C.J. with 4 sacrifice bunts in his career. Now showing the bunt. Not sure why they're letting him swing away here in a textbook sacrifice situation.
Because you're trying to get back in the game.
Yeah. See if he can get the bunt down now with 2 strikes.
Freddie Freeman still playing in.
One down.
You square around and you're just trying to make contact. It's one thing we've seen him working on the pitchers when they get that early hitting in. But the reality is, even if you're not given the bunt sign, you can still bunt on your own. You're trying to advance Conger to third. You have to chip away and get back in the game. And that's all Mike Scioscia wants from his pitchers is he bunt and getting the ball down and advancing a runner.
If that's the case, then maybe the bunt sign might have helped. Here's Cole Calhoun. Conger at second. Cole fouls it off to left. Calhoun 1 for 1 and a bloop single down the left field line. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw Scioscia not order a bunt in that situation.
You know, you think you're watching the game when you're down by 4. You don't want to give up and out, but you're also, the reality is an American League pitcher. You don't swing the bat all that often, so you're not used to hitting Major League pitching. You could take all the batting practice you want. It's still very difficult to catch up to Major League pitching, so you're better off squaring around and bunting.
No balls, 2 strikes. A 4-run first inning, the difference in this one. 3-run home run by Evan Gattis, followed by Chris Johnson's solo home run to left center. Trout on deck. One and 2. Simmons trying to keep Conger close to the bag, but he's really not even sticking around. Hank has got the ability to take an extended secondary lead. It's almost as if they're not worrying about him, although now Simmons seems to be planted near Conger. Now will back off. 2-2, and it gets away from Gattis. Conger will advance.
Well, I was talking a long time this afternoon with Gary DeSarcine about, we've seen a number of guys getting thrown at home, and he's really stressing that secondary lead where you can react like that on a ball in the dirt to be able to advance to third, or get a better secondary lead on a base hit in the outfield where you score comfortably instead of a bang-bang play at the plate. That secondary lead at second base is so important.
And with one out, up by 4. Atlanta, of course, going to play their infield back. They'll give up the run for the out. Two on the way. Just inside.
2 really good at bats so far in the game for Calhoun. First at bat, worked the count, eventually got a base hit to left field. Here again, working the count, at the very least trying to get the job done, getting a run across.
Looks like Harang still trying to get that 2-seamer in on the lefties. Hasn't found it as of yet. Now the payoff. That is ball 4. Second walk of the night. So 2 on, 1 out. Trout coming to the plate. Trout hit one down into the right field cornered foul territory that Hayward made the catch on. So Mike is 0 for 1.
And here's your chance to get right back in the game with 1 swing of the bat from Mike Trout. He's been very hot in his last 19 games, hitting 18 of them with a .362 batting average, including in that dramatic grand slam against Chris Sale at home.
Conger at third, Calhoun at first. Caught the top part of the strike zone. Johnson playing deep at third. Simmons cheating in a couple of steps at shortstop with Trout at the plate. Stella the same at second, trying to something sit sharply, trying to turn a double play. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left on for the Halos. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 left on for Atlanta. No balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, what a swing he had on that 0-1 fastball. Fouled it straight back. We both reacted as if that ball was going to be gone. That's the perfect spot where Trout hits the ball a long way. Fastball down, out over the plate. Real good power to right center field.
One ball, 2 strikes. You know, with all the sabermetrics that are out there, they can calculate pretty much anything in baseball nowadays. Waiting for that batting average on foul balls. What it would have been had he squared it up. There's got to be some sort of system in place.
They didn't seem to foul him off against me, though. That's the thing I'm always upset about. I was always backing up a base when I made a bad pitch like that.
Yeah, they've got what they call BABIP, batting average with balls in play, about the ones that are fouled.
Straight back with the pitchers gasping for air, thinking, wow, did I get away with one?
Or reverse velocity going back towards the screen. 1-2. This one's fouled back.
And we know we have that capability. Hit speed off the bat on the ball hit well. There's a few of them straight back. There's still got to be pretty good hit speed on the ball fouled straight back.
And that's what you see when Trout is going good and he's locked in. You're going to see a lot of those foul balls straight back, especially fastball counts.
And considering how hard he hits the baseball with that short swing he has. And when he's going good, that's what he has, the short swing. When he gets long on the swing, that's when he slumps a bit. That stride and short through the baseball. Powerful swing from Trout.
Back-to-back changeups.
That was up too, and that's again fouled straight back.
Halos making Harang work here in the third. Leadoff double by Conger. CJ struck out. Calhoun worked the count for him. Eventually drew the walk. So first and third, 1 out. Down 4-0 here in the third.
Trout has almost seen every single pitch that Harang has in this at bat.
What's that like for a pitcher? I mean, when you see a guy that's on everything, what do you decide at that point?
And then, especially when you throw a breaking ball, you think you get him to chase out of the strike zone, and he just tracks it and don't even think about swinging. At that point you hope for, he hits a line drive at somebody. That's the mindset you have to have.
And that one gets away from Gaddis. He can't find it. Conger will come in to score, and the Angels get on the board. It's 4-1 Atlanta.
It's 2 wild pitches in the inning, giving Harang 6 on the season. Again, this is a product of somebody who's on every pitch and not chasing it. A hard cut fastball gets away from Gaddis, and Conger comes in to score the first run for the Halos tonight.
It looked like Gaddis was a little bit late getting to that baseball.
Yeah, I don't think he anticipated that break on the fastball. To your point, Vic, you're thinking, I've thrown everything to a batter right now. I don't know what I have left to throw, so he overthrew his cut fastball, and that's the reaction you got from Gaddis behind the plate. He muscled up to make sure he didn't make a mistake with it, and overthrown cut fastball.
Full count, man in scoring position, and 1 out. And he lays off. At that point, with first base open, he figures, you know what?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm gonna throw a breaking ball. It's going to be in the dirt. If he chases it, I'll be happy. If not, I still have a double play in order.
So back-to-back walks for Harang. Puts 2 on, 1 out. Pujols at the plate. Albert reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. So he's 0 for 1. Pretty good speed on the bases, too, for the Angels. Calhoun at second, Trout at first. Justin up to deep and left. BJ up to shallow in center. Schaefer shallow and right. 1-0. Is there a residual, too, after a plate appearance such as Trout's?
And the fact is that Harang has not fared well, I should say, against the Angels throughout his career, and that's definitely creeping in his mind right now. Even though he had a 4-0 lead, now it's 4-1. He's seeing the hitters tracking his pitches now, and he's thrown a lot of mistakes. He's barely getting away with. That's another foul ball straight back. Reaction from a hitter. Pujols knew he had a pitch to drive. It's a lot of pitches thrown for Harang. 61.
One down. This one's skied to shallow center. Estella going out. Upton comes racing in, and Upton is there to make the catch. 2 outs. Robert chasing off speed pitch.
And that basically came down. That's the only way Harang was going to get Pujols out and force him to swing at something out of the strike zone. And Harang did a good job of getting Pujols out of his comfort zone and chasing.
So it's up to Hamilton to keep this going. 0 for 1. Hit a fly ball to center in his first inning at bat. And he skies this one on the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Estella, makes the catch, and the Angels, with a golden opportunity to score some more runs, only get 1. We'll head to the bottom of the third. 4-1 Braves.
Braves. And let's check out the tools of the trade presented by Ram Trucks. With Hank Conger at second, C.J. Wilson square around, trying to make contact instead of going and squaring around and continue and get the bunt down to be able to advance a run. That's what's so important as a pitcher, especially an American League pitcher. Your responsibility is get a bunt down to advance a runner. Instead, Hank Conger had to be advanced by the wild pitch, not once, but twice to be able to score. That's what you want to do as a pitcher. You want to help your cause. You want to advance base runners and give yourself a chance to get that W.
Freeman, Upton, and Gaddis here in the third for Atlanta. 45 pitches thrown by Wilson. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed, 2 of which were home runs back-to-back by Gaddis and Johnson in the first. Freddie Freeman drew a walk and scored in the first inning. Pitch in on the hands, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Turned out to be a nice mild night here in Atlanta. Doesn't happen often. Low humidity.
And we were packing suits for this game here. We're thinking it won't be all that comfortable. It turned out to be a beautiful night.
So this will be a nice weekend. 1-2. It's downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you don't say that too often this time of the year, where it's usually in the 90s with high humidity.
Two. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Freeman. 1 down.
Nice job as far as keeping the front shoulder in. Good sharp slider from CJ. Getting his 4th strikeout of the game. Starting to get a better feel now. Last inning was solid. Getting a very good hitter out. And Freddie Freeman, who's also very good against left-handed pitching himself, even though he's a left-handed batter.
Justin Upton. Deep fly ball to left in the first inning. Took Hamilton to the wall and left. He will look at a strike. One of the last times that we saw Justin Upton wearing a Diamondbacks uniform, the series at the Big A.
Did he break up a no-hitter late?
Perfect game.
Perfect game.
Irvin Santana's perfect game.
One of Irvin said, hey, man, why'd you break up my perfect game now with their teammates?
It was this 8th inning. Base hit up the middle. Clean single. 2 balls and 1 strike. And as good as his no-hitter was in Cleveland, the way he's thrown the ball that night against Arizona.
Man, we were looking at each other. That was an automatic. We thought at the very least a no-hitter, if not perfect game. There's Irvin.
The Magic Man.
Good dude. 96 wins with the Angels.
Ground ball short. 2 down.
Now let's check out our AT Uverse rewind. Evan Gaddis. 2 on. 3-0 count. Looking for a fastball. Got a fastball. 3-run home run. His 14th home run. 34th RBI of the season. Very, very good fastball hitter. Will chase off speed out of the zone, but he doesn't miss many fastballs.
First one. He's lifted out to center. Hit pretty well as well. Trout moving back on it at the wall. He will make the catch. Gave it a ride, but it stays in the yard. A 1-2-3 third. Still 4-1 Atlanta. Leads it by the score of 4-1. Tonight's game is being powered by Energy Upgrade California. Manage energy and help California stay golden. Visit energyupgradeca.org. Plenty of Angel fans in attendance here. They saw the Braves take a 4-0 lead in the first. The Angels got one back in the third, even though they had an opportunity to get more than that. Albert Pujols for the fly ball to center, and Hamilton with a pop-up on the infield. Kendrick, Ibar, and Freeze for the Angels here in the fourth against Aaron Harang was 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 hits allowed. One ball, 1 strike. Howie with one of those 3 walks. That came leading off the second. Bouncer over to first. Off the glove of Freeman. He'll take it himself. There's out number 1. Hey, folks, groups of 20 or more can enjoy Angels baseball for as low as $8 per seat. This year, take advantage of the exclusive group hat collection for select series. To book that outing today, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/groups.
I'm amazed how many Angel fans are here at Turner Field in Atlanta.
Well, a few times you get to visit this area. Unless you go to Tampa, if you're from the region. Angels don't go to Tampa with the longest. July or August?
Yeah, I think that is. We'll have another trip back east again for the Halos.
Eric Ibar popped out on the infield. He's 0 for 1. Chopper to the right side. Long run over for LaStella. An off balance throw, and it gets it.
Well played by LaStella. When you think about a slow roller like that, you have to field the ball and then the quick transfer to throw Ibar out, who runs well down the line, especially hitting from the left side.
First time tonight, Harang has retired the first 2 batters to start an inning. He's actually retired 4 in a row since the back-to-back walks to Calhoun and Trout with 1 out.
Well, you just hope you're not allowing him to build confidence, because he looked like he was in trouble, especially behind the count on Albert Pujols.
Yep.
And then Albert chasing off speed pitch.
Well, and that's the mode that Albert has been in over the last month and a half or thereabouts. Trying to do too much. You got a guy at the plate who's got great career numbers against the guy that's on the mound. And you've seen him just walk 2 guys. You're on a fastball, you foul it back, and you're chasing a breaking ball. Of all things. You
have him under control right there as a hitter. When you think about Pujols' numbers career-wise against Atlanta itself, 347 with 18 home runs and 58 RBI.
Came in batting 145 with men in scoring position. This one shot into center field, a 2-out base hit. And it's not an easy decision for Mike Scioscia. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here, fans to sit at home and say, you know what? Look, the numbers are what they are. You got to make some sort of move. You got to change it up a little bit, whether it's Trout dropping down to the 3 spot or Hamilton jumping up to the 3 spot and just mixing it up. But it's a lot easier said than done. And I say that from the standpoint of you've got a guy in Albert Pujols that's got a body of work.
An extremely proud hitter also.
No question about it. Do you risk maybe losing him a little bit by doing something like that? But sometimes you've got to do what's best for the team at that point. Doesn't mean you're going to lose that spot if you decide to make a move for the rest of the year.
It might allow him to relax himself.
Exactly.
And Albert's a guy, he's been a winner. He's been a winner throughout his career. So he may not suggest it, but maybe Mike Scioscia does mix up the batting order. You have Trout, Hamilton, Pujols instead of having Trout, Pujols, Hamilton. Whatever it takes to allow Albert to be Albert, that's what you want. That's what you want for the club.
And chasing the off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2. And I think when you take the body of work of anyone that's been around as long as Albert and the success that he's had, I think you take that into consideration, looking ahead. This is what I want to happen. But you also have to look at the now, the here and now, and say, all right, this is what's been going on. How can I get him back on track so that he is a part of this team and contributing the way he was the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
When he was driving the ball so well to center, to right center, using his lower part of his body, he seemed to be going back to using his forearms and wrists again.
This team is much better when Albert's involved.
It's a dynamic offense when Albert and driving the ball to all fields, hitting home runs, driving in runs. You're talking all-time numbers from a player who still has a lot of playing time left.
Freese takes off. It's a ball. The third out is second, and Freese is gone down. Third out of the inning. No argument, it doesn't appear, from Mike Socha or anybody else, as Angel Campos rings up David Freese. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Still 4-1 Braves. Four-run first inning. Let's take a look at the American League scoreboard as presented by BJ. Toronto leading Baltimore 2-0. Minnesota up 1-0 on the Tigers. Boston playing a little bit better. Cleveland 5-3. And Tampa Bay leading Houston.
Tampa scored early, but Minnesota's been pitching very well of late.
Yeah.
And Detroit has not swung the bats well at all of late. Down 1-0 to Minnesota. What a race in that Central.
West Coast games. You've got the Yankees at Oakland, Texas at Seattle. Oakland starts a long homestand now with New York, Texas, and Boston going to the Coliseum. You think he's hashtagging their West fan photo?
Yes, I think so. He has a smile on his face. That's what he's doing.
Yep. Or looking for that hashtag button.
Where's that?
Yeah. That's tough to find sometimes. Wilson back to work here in the fourth. Johnson, La Stella, and Simmons for the Atlanta Braves. 6, 7, and 8.
CJ has retired 7 batters in a row. Starting to get a better feel on the mound.
Evens up the count on Johnson. He homered in the first inning, his 3rd home run of the season, 17th run batted in. One and 2. Chris, the son of former big leaguer Ron Johnson. Big Ron Johnson.
Remember him well.
2 years with Kansas City, 1 with Montreal.
I always remember him in the minor leagues. He was one of the strongest hitters I've seen at that time in the minor leagues. And first base coach with the Red Sox for a couple seasons also.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Johnson. The still on deck. Johnson was part of that Upton trade with Arizona. Came over as part of that deal, originally with Houston.
Contending for the National League batting title almost the entire season last year.
Finished up hitting .321 his first year.
He was flirting with .400 for quite some time.
Full count. Ground ball toward the middle, and it's a base hit. So Johnson with a leadoff single after CJ had gotten ahead of him. The leadoff man on board for Tommy La Stella.
The ground ball up the middle. A lot of times you'll see a shortstop almost be able to get to that, but CJ likes Eric Aybar to play more in the hole at the shortstop position. So thinking in terms of the cut fastball or slow breaking ball, inside more ground balls to the hole at shortstop. That one up the middle, being a base hit for Johnson.
Well, Stella had a base hit in the first inning. She's 1 for 1. He's hit safely now in 11 of his 14 big league games. We'll look at his strike. 8th round pick in 2011 in Coastal Carolina. Started his collegiate career at St. John's before transfer. Oh, 2. Atlanta with 4 runs in the first inning. A 3-run shot by Evan Gattis. A solo shot by Chris Johnson. Back-to-back home runs. And just getting a run in the first, or pardon me, in the third, I should say. That's where we stand now, 4-1. The bottom of the 4th inning. It's fouled back. JJ faced 8 batters in that first inning. Atlanta with 4 total hits. Wilson with 4 punch outs, 1 walk. Pitch count's been settled down since that first inning. 33 pitches in that first. 34, pardon me.
In the next 2 innings, 21 combined.
Oh, 2 count. Swing and a miss. There's out number 1. That'll bring up Simmons.
See, a lot of times you'll see a manager put a bunt on for La Stella there, especially with a left-handed pitcher like CJ with that stuff he has now with a man on first. But the reality is you have the number 8 spot coming up next, and then it's followed by the pitcher's spot. Tennessee don't want to give up that extra out.
Simmons lined one out to Calhoun his first time up. We'll look at the strike. At 248 last year with 17 home runs, 59 runs batted in. And it's defense for Simmons. A big jump by Johnson. This one's an infield base hit. Nothing that Aybar could do but prevent Johnson from advancing to third.
You have 2 gold glovers in this game at that shortstop position. Eric Aybar won a gold glove and Simmons the gold glove last season. Aybar showing some very good range here. Trying to be able to catch Johnson going off the base. That's how those great instincts that Aybar has. Just in case Johnson grounded second base, he could throw it back to Howie. They have a bunt scenario here with Harang up.
Aaron Harang at the plate. Strikeout victim in the second. Do the old tomahawk chop here at Turner Field.
Harang 1 for 24 this season. You almost guarantee will be squaring around the bunt.
Off-speed pitch. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, this is about take the out. Just take the out at this point. It may be 2 outs. You can still get through the inning.
Hayward's no longer in the game. It's Schaefer, the man on deck.
Left-handed hitting batter too to follow Harang.
Bunts it foul. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Schaefer, strikeout victim in the second. And a pinch hit for Hayward. Hayward was hit by a pitch in the first. Top of his right hand. AJ about to throw 71st pitch as we play here in the 4th inning. Takes a strike, 1 and 2.
Now's the time you might be asked to square around again. This is when you throw a breaking ball to get a strikeout.
And he bunts it on the third base side. Thought about going to third. Instead, he flips it to first. They had the out at third base. 2 down.
Well, because Johnson had to hesitate initially. Making sure that ball was down. There was definitely a play, plenty of time. And Hank Conger was pointing towards third base. The good communication for Hank Conger. And Freese got back to the base in plenty of time, but CJ took the out at first.
So second and third, and Schaefer at the plate. And what that does essentially is you get the force out at third base. You got first and second with a pitcher running as a trail runner, and a force still on any of the bases.
Now you have 2 guys in scoring position instead.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Told that Jason Hayward left the game today with the right hand contusion. X-rays negative, so
that's good to hear that.
He is, as we all are, listed as day to day. Schaefer batting 186. The start of the night, 3 doubles, 2 runs batted in. Johnson at third, Simmons at second. Ground ball to second base. Howie has it. And they will remain at second and third. 4 complete here, Turner Field. 4-1 Braves. Fiat 500L. Visit FiatUSA.com. By Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. By the new Fun to Drive 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. And by AT mobilizing your world. Turner Field, the site of this three-game set, just outside of downtown Atlanta. Braves with 4 runs in the first inning, a couple of home runs. Gaddis with a 3-run shot, Johnson a solo shot, and the Angels getting one of those runs back into third. Conger with the leadoff double. His wild pitch to third, and a wild pitch brought him home. Hank was at the play with David Freese, was thrown out to end the fourth, so he'll lead off this 5th inning. 8-9-1. C.J. Wilson in the on-deck circle, then Cole Calhoun.
When CJ has settled down the score, right back in the game. It's the first time CJ's allowed back-to-back home runs as an Angel.
Conger pops it up. Shallow left, Simmons cutting over. The shortstop is there, 1 down. And folks, the Angels will host the Texas Rangers next Friday at 7:05, and fans in attendance will receive an Angels cowboy hat courtesy of Pechanga Resort and Casino while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today by visiting the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. Yeehaw!
I was waiting for you to say that. It's part of the read now.
Forgot the hashtag. C.J. Wilson gets the strike. Wilson to strike out, victim in the third. Four innings tonight, 5 hits to 2 home runs, 5 strikeouts and a walk. CJ apparently asking David Rackley, the home plate umpire.
Never a good idea as a pitcher. You want those borderline pitches yourself.
And down he goes. 2 outs. If anything, if you're the pitcher, aren't you saying, Mr. Rackley, that was a fantastic call?
Yeah, that was exactly right. I hope I get that pitch too.
My hope is that when I return to the mound,
I get that exact same pitch.
Call. Kudos to you, sir. 2 outs. Here comes Calhoun. Cole 1 for 1 with a single in the first, a walk in the third.
Seeing the ball well this entire game. 2 at bats, single and a walk.
It's a slow breaking ball for a strike. Off-speed pitch. A breaking pitch and then a changeup from Harang. He's thrown 82 pitches, 52 for strikes. This one's pulled through the right side and it's a base hit. He's been on board all 3 times. Second straight inning in which the Angels have picked up a 2-out knock. They'll bring up Trout.
Well, you just sense that Calhoun is getting more and more comfortable at the plate. We saw those batting averages the last 12 games. Track the ball well, pitch down, and try to do a whole lot with it. Get in the hole between first and second.
Trout 0 for 1, a fly ball to right field and a walk. Lifts this one out to right field. Schaefer moving back on it. Just shy of the track. Makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Angels here in the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. 4-1 Atlanta. It is 4-1 Atlanta. And folks, Tuesday, July 15th, baseball's best gathered in Minneapolis as the captain, Derek Jeter, takes the field in his last All-Star game ever. It promises to be an emotional and unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 1:30 Pacific on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star game at 4:30 Pacific on Fox.
Some serious, very good young talent is going to be in that All-Star game in Minnesota.
B.J. Upton, Freddie Freeman, Justin Upton. C.J. Wilson here, one pitch, bouncer to third, one out. B.J. Upton 0 for 3 tonight.
He continues to struggle against C.J. Wilson. That was 3 for 23 against C.J.
Freddie Freeman looks at a strike. He drew a walk and scored in the first. Struck out swinging in the third. TJ dropping down. This is down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. 77th pitch for Wilson. 47 have been strikes. 34 in that first inning. 2-1 count.
Well, when you see CJ drop down in that 3/4 action or tries to elevate, the very next pitch is always a struggle for him to hit his spot. And that was way outside after that drop down pitch to pitch before. Because what you do when you drop down like that, you quicken up your delivery. And the residual effect. A couple pitches later, still trying to find that arm slot again because you've quickened up your delivery.
Full count. This one fouled into the seats. Justin Upton on deck. 1 out here, the 5th. 3-2 now to Freeman. He walked him. It's the second walk of the ball game, both to Freeman. Puts a man on for Upton. Upton a fly ball to deep left in the first inning and a ground down to Eric Ibar in the third. In case you're wondering, Freddie Freeman, no stolen bases, has been caught twice. But imagine he's going anywhere, especially with Upton at the plate.
Yeah, your focus right now for CJ is right on Upton. Very good power. Freeman's not going anywhere. Most times all you got to do is just give him a look over first base. That way you can't get a walking lead against you, and then you go after the batter.
This one lifted on the first base side, tailing toward the seats and out of play. The count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike. It's turned out to be a very nice crowd here at Turner Field. They say they can fit almost 50,000 in here. A little over 49,000 capacity. This will be the Braves' home for the next couple of years, and then they're moving up to Cobb County. Brand new ballpark.
Georgia State is going to use this field as a football field.
This was home of the 96 Atlanta Olympics. It's outside. And 2 balls and 1 strike. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium was basically just beyond the left field wall, left center field wall, which is now a parking lot. They've made basically the center field area the entrance to this ballpark, the grand pavilion behind the scoreboard here. That's where everyone pretty much enters the building, gets their tickets.
Oh, that old stadium with Dale Murphy.
Yeah.
And some MVPs. Bob Horner. Hit some major home runs. Phil Niekro on his way to the Hall of Fame throwing that knuckleball.
Wasn't there a ridiculously long game there? 20-something inning? That they eventually shot fireworks off at whatever it was, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning?
I think I remember that.
Might be exaggerating here. That one's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. There it is right there. That was where Fulton County Stadium was on the left. And there's Turner Field.
It's a cool view.
And after the Olympics, it had to be retrofitted for baseball only. This has been home of the Braves since. Three balls and a strike on Upton with Freeman standing at first.
(3-1) changeup from CJ. Wise decision there. You knew Upton was looking for a fastball, but a good spot with a changeup.
Michael Bourne getting ready. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Down goes up to 2 down. Took something off.
Pointed up and knew it. Little cut action. He's barely touching that inside part of the strike zone.
There's Evan Gattis, 1 for 2, a home run and a deep shot to center field.
That's a wise decision. Something off speed. The 3-0 fastball he got, hit a 3-run home run. Even his very next at bat, he hit the ball well to center field on the first pitch fastball.
By the way, that was a 19-inning game against the Mets that ended at 3:55 in the morning.
I think Ron Darling might have gotten the win for the Mets.
Yeah.
If I recall. Coming in relief.
In relief. That was in the 19th inning. Braves scored some runs against it, but eventually got the last out. Rick Camp, former pitcher, made the last out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two count on Gattis with 2 outs. Swings and misses on the breaking ball. Conger has to throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and he does. So CJ picks up a couple of more strikeouts. We're through 5 here. Turner Field still 4-1 Atlanta.
summary. Atlanta off to a quick start on a 3-0 fastball. Evan Gattis, a 3-run home run in the first. Chris Johnson follows it up with a solo shot himself. First time in his career as an Angel. C.J. Wilson gave up back-to-back home runs. Then took that 4-0 lead. Eventually the Angels got one back, and they're still working away trying to get back into this game, especially with Pujols leading off. So some power provided early on by the Braves.
Pujols, Hamilton, Kendrick for the Angels here in the 6th inning. Albert 0 for 2, a fielder's choice and a fly ball to shallow center. Swings the hit one sharply to short. Simmons has it. One down. We go back and revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
Wanted just the thought process, especially against Aaron Harang. Get some pitches up, take a little ride, drive the ball out of the ballpark. Still time to come back in this game. Mentioned that earlier. 5 guys coming in this game against Harang. 340 batting average or better, including this man right here coming into the game. Was 6 for 9, now 6 for 11 in his career versus Harang.
This one fouled into the seats down the left field line. Josh 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a pop up on the infield. .86 pitches now thrown by Harang. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 4 hits allowed. And what has really been a very similar start to that of Chris Young for the Seattle Mariners on Memorial Day up at Safeco Field. 2-2.
And then you go back to the dugout when you make it out. And you say, I'm seeing the baseball well, but I'm getting myself out.
This one's ripped foul. Off the target.
And credit Aaron Harang for making those quality pitches when he needed to.
David Hale getting ready. Full count. Kendrick on deck. Just got a piece of it, keeps his at-bat alive. One inning in which the Angels have had an opportunity against Harang was the inning in which they scored their one and only run in the 3rd. Eventually had themselves a 1st and 2nd 1-out situation. Calhoun and Trout on base, but didn't bring in any more runs in. This one shot, and Simmons with a terrific diving stop, throws to first, and he got him. What a play by Andrelton Simmons. 2 down.
Well, what do we say about him and his athletic ability and that strong throwing arm? This was destined to even potentially be a double. It was hit so hard. But Simmons not only makes the play, but gets up and throws a perfect throw, who gets Hamilton and runs well down the line.
Josh had to redirect because he thought he was going to turn the corner at first.
Yeah, because that ball was hit that hard, you're thinking double out of the batter's box. Special player Simmons is with that glove. What's a comfortable feeling when you're a pitcher? You have that type of athleticism at your shortstop position where a lot of ground balls are going to be hit that way. What a strong throwing arm.
Top defender in the National League, Platinum Glove Award winner last year. Manny Machado won the Platinum Glove in the American League. Two balls in the strike.
Victor, as a pitcher, you could appreciate that because of the fact that he feels in his mind that he can win a game with his glove. Yes, he can swing the bat. He's got some power. But the reality is he can win a game with his glove.
3 balls and a strike. Just going through some notes on Simmons last year, his rookie year. We all talk about WAR, right? Wins above replacement. Usually you hear that conversation as a complete number, offense and defense. This one's skied foul. But they do have a defensive WAR number. And Simmons last year was 5.4, which tied for the highest defensive WAR number in the history of Major League Baseball. It was set back in 1906. That's how many runs this kid has capable of saving. This one's laced foul.
I'm having conversations with Torrey Hunter, who won 9 Gold Gloves himself. There were so many times where he loved robbing a home run or coming diving in on a play or making a throw to a base as much as he did hitting a home run himself. And you can see that look that Simmons has. He just loves defending his position.
Off the glove towards Simmons.
Don't go there.
No, not good. That's a 1-6-3 out. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Angels still trailing at 4-1. Turner, 4-1 Atlanta as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. T.J. Wilson back to work. He'll face Johnson, Listella, Simmons.
How cool is that to see all the appreciation in the stands for a hero? It gives you goosebumps seeing that.
Honored between innings down on the field next to the Braves dugout.
A lot of sincere handshakes there, too.
Chris Johnson, a third baseman, 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. That last pitch, the 92nd of the night for Wilson. 5 hits for the Braves. It's a chopper to the left side. Ibar comes in. Off balance throw, and Pujols digs it out for the first out.
2 really good shortstops in this game. Another acrobatic play by Eric Ibar. Coming in on a very difficult play on the run. It's a good throw over to Pujols, who picks it up. 6-3 put out. 20% is 979, which is third amongst AL shortstop, best since 2011. When people talk about interleague play and do they like it, do they not, but when you get an opportunity to see a player like Simmons play, you don't normally get an opportunity to do so. It's kind of fun to be able to see him do the things he does with the glove.
Stella looks at a strike. Yeah, I mean, now that you have 2 15-team leagues, it is what it is. You can't get around that. Braves fans get a chance to watch a guy like Mike Trout.
Well, and there was a ton of fans asking for Mike Trout's autograph before the game.
That of a history here as far as baseball. A lot of pennants.
Yeah, there's a lot of them up there on that left center field wall.
1-2. Won the World Championship in '95. That's why Bobby Cox is going in as a Hall of Famer.
The 3 Braves going in on this class: Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, Bobby Cox.
2 balls, 2 strikes. CJ dropping down. Chipper Jones will soon be following, I would imagine, in a couple of years.
John Smoltz. No question in my mind, John Smoltz belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Full count. Costello 1 for 2, a single in the first, a strikeout in the fourth. Simmons on deck. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. 2 down. Well, not the only 3 guys with Braves connection going to the Hall of Fame. Joe Torre, who happened to be in our booth the other night, former manager of the Atlanta Braves, going in Cooperstown this year. Played and managed for the Braves. Matter of fact, he was managing that Braves team when they played those 19 innings that finished at 3:55 in the morning.
And also was managed that Yankee team that beat the Braves in that game when Jim Leyritz hit that home run.
The king.
He became the king after
Down
that
the
home
left
run.
field line.
Yes, he did.
Off Mark Wohlers.
Throwing about 98. Boy, that's a great class going into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Tony La Russa in there. We saw him at home when Albert had the ceremony for his 500th home run. With Joe Torre, you got Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
One ball, 1 strike on Simmons, who's 1 for 2. Fly to right, a single. Born in Curacao. Going to Oklahoma State Junior College and became a 2nd-round pick of the Braves, 2010.
Boy, in that baseball that Josh Hamilton hit, Simmons, well, off the bat, I'm thinking double. And Simmons dives. That ball is by him when he dives in that strong throwing arm to be able to throw out Hamilton. So comfortable with the glove. There's a lot of confidence in that throwing arm as well. He should. Win a number of Gold Gloves. Speaking of Gold Gloves, what about Greg Maddux? 18 Gold Gloves, the Hall of Famer. That's helping you field your position. Releasing the ball and become that 5th infielder. Greg Maddux was outstanding fielding his position.
Can't become a Gold Glover without using your glove. Two. Back up the middle. Howie Kendrick has it. Fires to first. Not going to get Simmons. 2-out single.
Boy, Howie did everything he could. That ball's hit right up the middle. Simmons runs well. Off the foot of C.J. Wilson. Simmons runs down the line and beats it out.
Dan Uggla is going to pinch hit here for Aaron Harang. So Harang is done after 6 innings. Uggla hitting 168 through 37 games, 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Halos overshift, 3 infielders on the left side. Hold 1.
And you can expand the strike zone against Uggla. Very, very quick on a fastball in the inner half. Will Chase pitches out of the strike zone. Head of the count now, CJ. Try to expand the strike zone. Keep us a 4-1 deficit.
So Harang finishes the night going 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 run. It was earned through exactly 100 pitches. Douglas skies one shallow left. Eric Ibar, the outfield grass. Puts it away. That'll do for the Braves here in the 6th. We'll head to the 7th here in Atlanta. Ibar freezing. Conger coming up. The Angels down 4-1. For the ATT fan photo of the game, remember to tweet your photos using hashtag WestFanPhoto. Your photo could be used in an upcoming game broadcast. John Buss with the Josh Hamilton bobblehead there at the Big A. We appreciate your submission. Keep sending them in. Hashtag WestFanPhoto. Turning it out, who's in, who's out. Aaron Harang is done. Right-hander David Hale takes over on the mound.
Yeah, sinker specialist, ground ball artist, 89-93 on his sinker, slider, changeup.
Third round pick in 2009 with the Atlanta Braves. The Georgia native.
As you can see, he keeps the ball down. Only one home run allowed in 42 innings pitched. So if that baseball starts at the knees, do not chase. It will not stay in the strike zone. You have to force him to elevate his pitches.
Princeton University product. Ibar takes outside. One ball, no strikes. Eric tonight 0 for 2. A pop up to third and a ground ball to second. Ground ball, broken bat. Chopper toward the middle. Simmons has it. One down.
That's 4 straight ground balls to Simmons.
We'll bring up David Freese, who's 1 for 2. Double play ball in the second, a single, and a caught stealing. That was in the 5th. David Hale last year made his major league debut, pitched in 2 games with the Braves last year. He struck out 9 batters in his big league debut in September. Set a franchise record for strikeouts. His major league debut. That one is outside. Luis Avilan getting ready. Caught the inside corner.
You can see that movement he has. 90-mile-an-hour fastball with some late movement.
Conger on deck. 4 runs in the first for Atlanta. 2 down. Phillies goes down swinging. Tied him up. Bring up Hank. Conger 1 for 2 tonight with a double and a run scored in the 3rd.
And if Hank can get on here, you see a pinch hitter for C.J. Wilson.
Ground ball to the left side. Simmons to the backhand. That hasn't worked out well for the Angels tonight. A 1-2-3 7th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Still 4-1 Braves. Inning. Want to remind you that on June 25th, celebrate halfway to Christmas when the Angels take on the Twins at 7:05. Fans in attendance will attempt to set another Angels Guinness World Record wearing Santa hats, courtesy of Yokohama Tire. Get your tickets today at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
I'm looking forward to that one.
I know you're a big Christmas nut. I'm looking forward to walking into the broadcast booth with Christmas lights that you've
no question.
Put up in the booth. Why not, right? Ornaments?
Yes.
I'll get the tree.
I got my Charlie Brown tree I can bring in. Yes.
Perfect. Bring it on in. Part of that Guinness record. World record.
You know it.
Why wouldn't you? Here's Michael Moore taking over for C.J. Wilson. Moore pitching his 19th game. 0-1 record, a 1.40 ERA. He'll be facing the top of the order at Schaefer, Upton, and Freeman. C.J. Wilson lasted 6 innings, gave up 4 runs all in the first inning. Faced 8 batters in that first inning. Gave up 2 home runs. Evan Gaddis, a 3-run shot on a 3-0 pitch, and then Chris Johnson, solo shot soon thereafter.
Those odd games for C.J. He ended up with 8 strikeouts. So the stuff was there.
after that first inning. Some mistakes, especially on the 3-0 count. When you have a fastball hitter and Gaddis up, you know he wasn't going to take that pitch.
Yeah, behind virtually every batter in that first inning as well. Jordan Schaefer up for the third time. He's 0 for 2. Took over for the injured Jason Hayward, who was hit by a pitch in the first. That's also on CJ's line. Batting. Schaefer 0 for 2. The strikeout and the ground out. Warren pitched Wednesday night with an inning and a third. No runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. This one's pulled into right field, a base hit. So Schaefer's on board, a leadoff single for him. And Atlanta picks up its 6th hit. Pardon me, its 7th hit of the night. And B.J. Upton strolls to the plate. 0 for 3 night. Strikeout, fly to right, ground ball to third.
Schaefer can run a little bit, 6 stolen bases. Has not been caught yet this year.
Pretty good lead for Schaefer already. Gets away from Albert on a short throw. And a short hop throw.
Fortunate enough that baseball hit Schaefer. Otherwise, that gets by him and going to be on the advance at least a second.
Schaefer takes off. The pitch is down low to throw to second. It is out of time to start base. And a 1-0 count on Upton.
Pretty big jump. With a 4-1 lead, Atlanta's going to be more aggressive. That's a big lead also. And also picked a good pitch to go on, a breaking ball. Quick throw by Conger. Schaefer able to get his hand in before Howie was able to apply the tag. Hank did everything he could to make that close.
Third down to second base, and Schaefer gets the hand back in. There's Upton offered a dead pitch, and it's 1-1.
Quick throw back to second base by Hank Conger. What that does is forces Schaefer to shorten up his secondary lead, just in case there is a bunt down. There could be a play at third base.
Two balls, 1 strike. One run, 4 hits, 4 left on for the Angels. 4 runs, 7 hits, 5 left on for Atlanta. Two. Good slow breaking ball.
Looking for a punch out here. That way Schaefer cannot advance on an out to the right side of the infield.
Just missed in, full count. Freddie Freeman's on deck. Then Justin Upton, nobody out. Schaefer with a base hit to lead off the 7th, and then a stolen base. Three-two. Swinging a base. Down goes Upton. One down.
78th punch out this season for B.J. Upton. Slider, swing and miss. Michael got exactly what he wanted, and out without. Schaefer been able to advance.
Mike Butcher out to pay a visit. Freeman, the batter, first base open with Justin Upton at the plate, or on deck, I should say. I can't imagine they would be discussing that, but you never know. Upton off to a very good season, although 0 for 3 in this one. Freeman twice has walked, and he has struck out. He's 0 for 1. On the breaking ball, like it. 0-1.
We see breaking balls and change-ups. Maybe just a fastball off the outside corner. Stay away from the inner half against Freeman. Especially with a left-handed batter up, you already have Eric Ibar positioned almost behind Schaefer. You don't really necessarily have to worry a lot about him getting a big secondary lead. He has to be aware of Ibar being there to begin with.
This one's hooked into right. Calhoun is there. He'll make the catch. Schaefer tags, trying to advance. The throw is not in time. 2 outs.
Freeman out in front of the changeup. Schaefer being aggressive. And the throw from Calhoun. No, you better make sure you're in there at third base. You don't want to be the third out at third, especially when you have Justin Upton coming up next. You better make sure you're in.
Halos in the 8th will have 9-1-2. Pinch hitter, then Calhoun and Trout. Shea Simmons loosening in the bullpen for the Braves. Up to tonight. Fly to left, a ground ball to short, and a strikeout. Went down looking in the 5th against CJ. No 1 count. Early in the game, we're telling you about B.J. Upton being the 2nd overall selection in 02. Justin, the 1st overall selection in 05.
Serious talent in the family.
He wins. Cued up the first base side. Pujols has it. A lot of spin on that ball. Good changeup from Morin. That leadoff single strand at third base. 7 in the books here. Turner Field. The Angels still down 4-1. Yes Store, your one-stop shop for your small business needs. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a fast free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today to see how much you can save. Beautiful shot of the skyline here, downtown Atlanta. 4-1. Braves lead the Angels. 4 runs in the first. The Angels got their one and only run in the third. And now Freddie Gonzalez has gone to his bullpen once again. It's right-hander Shea Simmons on in relief.
Power arm himself, Simmons. Fastballs 94 to 99. Slider, split finger fastball. What is it with the name Simmons? It's in a power arm, right? Shortstop, power arm, and on the mound now.
He was putting up terrific numbers at the time of his call-up. Was leading all of Major League Baseball with 14 saves. He was 14 for 14 at Double-A. Product of Southeast Missouri State University. He'll face Roland Bañez, the pinch hitter, batting in the 9th spot. Then Cole Calhoun and Mike Trout. Raul shoots one to left on the very first pitch. Justin Upton makes the catch. 1 out. So back to the top of the order we go. And Cole Calhoun is the former Brave himself. Corey Rasmus begins to loosen. Cole 2 for 2, a couple of singles and a walk. Braves pitchers have retired 8 consecutive since the 2-out single by Calhoun in the 5th. Hale went 1 inning, faced a minimum 3 and had 1 punch out. Simmons a 22nd round pick in 2012. This one's fouled back. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
So he comes right after you with that fastball. 95 consistent in his first 3 pitches. They've had some hard throwers out of the bullpen the last couple of seasons for the Braves. You look back at all those teams that won there a few years ago, that's always was their issue. For the most part was their depth in their bullpen, but that's not the case anymore.
Cole laying off the breaking ball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Garrett Richards on the mound tomorrow against Gavin Floyd. Get that game tomorrow is at 4:15 Pacific time on Big Fox. Cole shoots one out toward right center field. Upton got a good jump on it, and he misplays it. Boy, what should have been a routine second out here in the 8th. Misplays, and Calhoun will reach, and Upton here's the Boo Birds.
Might end up being his 4th error of the season.
And it is an error on Upton.
Boy, he had a good read on it, but then at the very end lost track of the baseball.
Unless it's one of those that was knuckling out there, but it didn't seem as if that was the case off the bat.
Off the bat, I thought that was going to fall in initially.
Yeah.
Then that great read he had, and then unable to finish it off.
Trout takes upstairs. Mike tonight 0 for 2. A couple of fly balls to right. He's also drawn a walk. One and 1. Braves with the 3rd best staff ERA. Got a rough series against the Colorado Rockies. Raised their staff ERA to 3.29. Their bullpen at 3.51. Starters at 3.20. 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Pujols on deck. Roger McDowell, the pitching coach of the Atlanta Braves. Throw to first, Calhoun back.
When you look at the success they've had over the years, it's always been predicated around very good pitching. Starters, bullpen. Roger McDowell's done a nice job as far as making them believe in that first pitch strike mentality.
2-1 pitch off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Staying away from Trout, or at least trying to.
Good count right now to do some damage if you're Trout.
This one flared into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Calhoun will turn second, head to third. Trout into second base with a double.
It's fun to watch Trout turn on the afterburners when he saw that ball flare in. Got jammed. He sees that ball down, then all of a sudden turns it on. Cruises in for a double. 16th of the season.
So second and third, 1 out. Pujols coming up. Albert tonight 0 for 3. Fielder's choice, a fly ball to center and a ground ball to short. Letting it fly on the first pitch fastball. 0-1.
That base hit by Trout, he's hit in 16 straight interleague games for Mike Trout.
One ball, one strike. Kevin Jepson now has joined Corey Rasmus. Double by Trout, the 5th hit for the Angels tonight. Halos have not had that many opportunities with men in scoring positions tonight, just 0 for 3. Have a chance here. Johnson, a third baseman, guarding the line. Chopper off the foot. 1-2. And the 2 right-handers getting ready for the Halos.
At this point behind in the count, you'll take that flare that Mike Trout has had if you're Albert Pujols to get a couple runs across. You have to be able to score here.
One ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Fouled straight back off the mask.
Well, that one had to hurt a little bit. That one was straight back on the mask.
I'm not sure that it did. I'm not even sure he felt it.
He is a strong man. There's no question.
One tough dude.
One of the battles he's gone through just to get to this level and be successful. Truly an amazing story.
Walked away from a scholarship to Texas A&M out of high school. Left baseball for 4 years. One-two. Breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Simmons seems to kind of slow down a little bit on that breaking pitch.
Yeah, you can track it a little bit, even though it's a sharp break to it.
Now Gaddis is going to go out and talk things over. That's something, too, that catchers pick up on.
Yeah, you're tipping that you're throwing something off speed.
Even Calhoun with the 2-strike slider that he got down and in. Didn't really get him to bite on it.
And we've always talked about it. Man, we talk about it with Weaver. It's not necessarily worry about or even talk necessarily about his velocity, but all of his pitches are from that same arm angle. Doesn't change anything as far as his delivery. That's what makes him effective. When you have a good fastball like you have from Simmons, if you're not able to throw your slider with that same arm slot, you can track that and let it go.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Calhoun at third, Trout at second. Check swing foul.
Did a little better job of same arm slot. Didn't slow down. That was the conversation you could tell that Gaddis had with him. Think fastball and then snap at the very end with your slider.
Chase Simmons, 23 years of age. Two. Ground ball to the right side. That's a base hit. Calhoun will score. Trout being waved in, and Albert Pujols with a 2 RBI single. And the Halos are down by 1.
Boy, that's the swing we've been looking for from Albert for a while. Just go the other way. Boy, what a swing. A firm fastball. And went the other way. It was great balance in his swing. Did not try to pull the baseball. And hits that ball in the right field.
Roger McDowell out to pay a visit to Simmons. Colin Cowgill has taken over at first base for Albert as the pinch runner.
So you have Cole Calhoun would move over to first, and Cowgill will go in the right field more than likely. But again, get back to that swing for Pujols. What a swing. Went the other way. Let the baseball travel and hit that ball hard.
Well, you got a Missouri kid on the mound. Grew up in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, facing a guy that he probably grew up watching in the St. Louis Cardinals uniform.
And Pujols doesn't want to come out for a pinch runner there, but the reality is you're down by 1, and the speed of Cowgill at first base, that is why the decision was made. But I just love that approach. Albert, very good swing. Driving in 2.
There's Hamilton. Takes outside an off-speed pitch. And again, much like the breaking ball, Simmons slowing everything down for that changeup. Josh 0 for 3 tonight. Fly ball to center, a pop to second, and a ground ball to short. And that was that terrific play that Simmons made going to the backhand. Back-to-back off speeds, 2-0. Error by B.J. Upton looming large here in this 8th inning. Should have been the second out of the inning. Breaking ball, 3-0.
An error, and then a flare by Mike Trout, and then a great swing from Pujols. And green light for Hamilton here. If he gets a fastball, take the lead with 1 swing.
Oh, he got it and he took it. 3-1. Howie Kendrick on deck. Three-1. Breaking ball. And he walked him. So the tying run now in scoring position. And Howie Kendrick strolling to the plate.
Walden up, former Angel, up in the bullpen for the Braves now.
Howie 1 for his last 17. With Cowgill at second, Hamilton at first. Takes a fastball for a strike. A walk, a ground out to first base. And a ground ball off of Harang to Simmons. So an 0 for 2 night for Howie. 0-2. .24 pitches thrown by Simmons here in this 8th inning. 2 runs in. As Joe Smith begins to loosen. Jepson's ready to go. .02 pitch. Swing and a miss. Challenge it. Came after it. And Howard cannot catch up to it. So his struggles in the month of June continue. 2 outs.
Boy, came right with a fastball. Usually a pitch when Howie's right, he'll hit that ball well in the right field for a base hit.
So Eric Ibar will step to the plate. With 2 outs and 2 on.
One of the most consistent run producers this year for the Halos in these spots.
0 for 3 tonight with a pop-up and 2 groundouts. Cowgill able to take a bigger lead now. Breaking ball missing down and in. Schaefer very shallow in right. B.J. Upton always plays shallow in center. Upton, the former right fielder, normal depth in left. Big hole on the left side, too. Simmons trying to keep Cowgill close to the bag. Still don't trust him, though. Here's the 1-0. This is a bouncer over to first. Freeman takes the big hop, takes it himself. That'll do it for the Angels. They scored twice, however, as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Angels trailing 4-3. Olabanez taking over at first base. New pitcher in the ball game is Kevin Jepson. Jepson here in the 8th inning will be facing Gaddis, Johnson, and Listella.
Jepson's been throwing the ball so well of late. His fastball command has been much better. His changeup solid, slider the same.
So the pitcher spot is in the 3-hole now. Banez will be batting 3rd. When we get to the 9th, it'll be Freese, Conger, and Ibanez. Evan Gaddis 1 for 3. 3-run shot in the first inning. His 14th home run of the year. A deep fly ball to center in the 3rd inning and a strikeout victim in the 5th. Michael Moore went 1 inning. Allowed a hit and struck out a man. This one's ripped to left. First pitch fastball. Gaddis is on board. Leadoff single as Hamilton gets the baseball back in.
What does he like a fastball? Even a fastball at 95 elevated, still quick. That high heater.
Second hit of the night.
He was able to get his hands up through the baseball, even though it was at 95.
Chris Johnson, a third baseman, with a home run, a single, and a ground out.
When you look at this Atlanta Braves lineup, they love to swing at that first pitch fastball. They're very aggressive.
One ball, one strike. Kevin pitched a third of an inning in Wednesday's game. Last time out for him.
Johnson is grounded into 11 double plays.
Trying to keep it a one-run deficit heading into the ninth. Pulled foul. That got Socha to move quickly off the steps.
Little smile from Soch. Somebody's giving him some grief in there, or a number of people.
You got to play that off, fall down the steps and say, Mike, I want to talk to you a little bit about the next guy that's warming up in the pen. You meant it. You meant to get closer to Butcher.
Yes.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. Got him looking. One down. Speaking of Socha, Mike will not be with the team tomorrow. Bob Welch's memorial service in Arizona will take place tomorrow. Socha's going to fly back to attend that. Dino Ebel, the bench coach, will take over the duties. Second time this year Dino's had to do that. First was in Toronto. Nice breaking ball from Jepson to get Johnson. Here's Listella, the second baseman, 1 for 3, a single and a couple of strikeouts. This one's out toward right center field. Mike Trout is there. 2 down.
And aggressive, swinging early in the count, looking for a fastball.
Craig Kimbrell getting ready for the night.
Must be mandatory to throw at least 95 to 96 to come out of the bullpen for Atlanta.
It's mandatory. It's a requisite.
So Jordan Walden warming up, former Angel. He's 95 to 99. Kimbrell, same thing on his fastball.
Ground ball toward third. Freese has it. They'll go the short way. And we will head to the ninth. The Angels have Freese, Conger, and Ibanez due up, down 4-3. This is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Braves on top 4-3 as we begin the ninth inning. David Freese will lead things off. Stick around after the last out. Angels live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Jose Mota Journal will break this one all down. The Angels will have their hands full, however, here in this ninth inning. The closer, Craig Kimbrell, comes into the ball game. Huntsville, Alabama native and fireball. 0-1 record, a 1.82 ERA. So far this year, 18 saves.
He's blown 3 of them. Fastballs 95 to 99 and a very good swing and miss slider and changeup.
He'll have a new second baseman behind him as Ramiro Pena takes over. Does so for La Stella. There's Ramiro. Kimbrell broke the Braves franchise record with his 155th career save on Friday against the Diamondbacks. It was John Smoltz's record. David Freese, Hank Conger, Raul Ibanez, righty, lefty against the fireballing right-hander. David looks at a strike. Freese tonight 1 for 3. A single in the fourth. Shea Simmons pitched the 8th. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 2 runs, 1 earned. Fouled straight back.
He had a pretty good swing at that 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kimbrell, a 3rd-round pick in 2008 out of Wallace State Community College. That's in Alabama. One and 2. Twice drafted by the Braves. First time out of high school. 33rd round in 07. Incredible numbers there.
So consistent.
Breaking ball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not a big guy either. As a matter of fact, Shea Simmons was listed at 5'11". The guy who pitched the 8th inning. Kimbrell, the same thing. 5'11", 220. Powerful arms.
And like Billy Wagner, not real tall, but it's that whole arm motion to create that velocity.
Two now. This one's fouled back just below us. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pretty good battle right here.
They got it with a fastball away and he went down.
This is a great location with fastball from Kimbrell. You're looking to try to drive a ball, extra base at least if you're Freese with that fastball at 97 right on the outside corner. After some pretty good swings at other fastballs on the inner half.
There's Conger. 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the 3rd inning. What was it? Venters, Kimbrell, O'Flaherty back in 2011, right?
Yes.
When they visited the Big A. First time we saw those guys.
Very difficult. O'Flaherty trying to work his way back with Oakland now from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah. It's 2 balls and no strikes. I think Tommy Hanson won the only game in that 3-game series, right? The Angels took 2 of 3 at the big game. 2-0 pitch. Hank fouls it off to left. It's 2-1. 39,699 tonight.
Well, if you're Hank Conger, this is what you want. Not do you have to worry necessarily about an all-speed pitch. Looking for a fastball. And Hank likes that fastball on the inner half.
Ground ball toward the middle. Simmons to his left has it. 2 down. Well, the Angels down to the last out here tonight, and it's Raul Ibanez coming to the plate. Ibanez pitch hit in the 8th inning, saw 1 pitch. The fly ball to left. First one, breaking ball. And the Braves do not shift around on the infield. I believe it's the first time we've seen this all year with the Ibanez at the plate.
He's thinking it long, and the fact is Kimbrel throws so hard. He's more apt to hit the ball to that left side of the infield.
He went around on the breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Well, the Angels 1 strike away from dropping the first one of the 3-game set. Oh, 2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Ibanez, and the Braves take the first one. A 1-run victory for Atlanta, 4-3 in the final.
Well, what it came down to is the bullpen for Atlanta was able to hold the lead for Aaron Harang after the 4-run first inning. Back-to-back home runs. Gaddis followed by Johnson. It's too much to overcome.
With 2 home runs hit in today's game, a total of $13,000 was raised for prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can go online to homeRunChallenge.org. C.J. Wilson takes a loss, dropping him to 7-6. Aaron Harang picks up the victory, now 5-5, and Kimbrel picks up his 19th save as the Angels drop the first one to the Atlanta Braves. 4-3 in the final. Stick around. Angels Live postgame is coming up next.